Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Nerd Chronicles. This is your host, Christian Paul speaking. Alright? This following episode here contains graphic content that may not be suitable for definitely children and some other viewers involved, which could involve graphic language, visual graphic content, and or both. Viewer discretion is advised.
I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary in abusive and cruel. You are not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There is no groceries. I'd be happy.
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes. How do you man? How do you man? Receive love and respect. No. How do you man? No, you're not taking the car.
Steven,
you're not taking the car.
Steven,
you are not.
Then I will ask someone to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not about Steven.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Steven, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Steven.
Like, I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
Steven,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Steven.
And making it work. Can you do that? The only way out of this is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Steven.
There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Steven.
Hillary,
Steven?
you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Steven, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Steven, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Fucking watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not gonna.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to it. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just
walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take Betty.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Nerd Chronicles. This is your host, Proud Lane, certified beta male simp mangina, whatever it is in no game. The socially awkward nerd Christian Paul has entered the motherfucking building, ladies and gentlemen. And what we have here is a self-proclaimed, hardcore, extreme, alt-right, extremely conservative, red pill, neo-matrix, alpha male, has basically been exposed up in the light when it comes with his divorce scandal that's basically been going buck wild as we speak when dealing with a video on a Ring camera that took place around mid-2021, in which you see Mr. Steven Crowder here from Louder with Crowder basically berating his wife. Okay? berating her, belittling her, just because she's having some trouble trying to get some tasks done, or they just share a car together at the time while they were literally living in a house up in Texas. If I'm not mistaken, they live around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Dallas-Fort Metroplex. Excuse me. Around the time of that recording. And Hillary filed divorce proceedings basically shortly thereafter. And all the craziness has been come to light when it comes to this horrible deal. So let's try to scroll down this newsletter coming from Yashar Ali, straight out of Twitter. And I'm definitely looking out of the yashar.substack.com site dealing with the exclusive video here. You can definitely look at the site for yourself as well. This is actually kind of like breaking news for literally the whole world to see. So if we literally scroll down, ladies and gentlemen, based on what's really going on, it basically says conservative media host and commentator Stephen Craddock and CBC on a Ring camera berating his wife, as we basically said. Hillary, who was at the time nearly 8 months pregnant and demanding that she handle medicine for his dogs, that she was concerned was toxic to pregnant women. In the video, he snaps at her to put on her gloves to give his dogs medicine, walk the dogs, and otherwise perform wifely duties as she is clearly mostly distressed. And my question to you, Mr. Crowder, what specific wifely duties are you looking to obtain from her? And one of the main reasons why I don't even give relationship advice is basically too much is because each and every single relationship that basically going on is actually very different from one another based on the couple, based on the couple's mindsets, based on how the couple run things, based on who leads, who follow. Now, in many cases, a lot of men do lead, that I know for sure, but there's definitely some few cases where basically there's like women that mainly lead the bulk of the whole relationship. And in some cases, some people actually do like some 50-50 stuff, however they may be, depending on the situation at hand, depending on like the mindsets they do, given their environments, depending on what is fair for each and every individual couple, as their threshold is literally different from one another. That's why I haven't talked too much about relationships and all that stuff. But this one here, I'm literally gonna make an exception because what I saw on that video, and I saw like the many of you, was absolutely abhorrent. It was absolutely despicable. And I'll give my closing statements in regards to that once I get done reading this crazy article that's here. So, clearly we know Hillary is emotionally distressed. And Hillary basically says your abuse is sick. And Stephen basically responds to her, watch it, fucking watch it. And then moments later, off camera, off the ring, Stephen, by his admission, would lose control and lose his shit, screaming at his pregnant wife in a very threatening tone, "I will fuck you up," which led to Hillary literally fleeing and living alone ever since, unfortunately. Now, in the statement sent to by Hillary Crowder's family, basically according to the family, they said she spent years hiding Stephen's mental and emotional abuse from the family, that he lied about the circumstances around the divorce, and that he was not present for the birth of their children. And we know Yashar Ali basically reviewed the whole ordeal, reporting the story that backs up much of their assertions, in which the statement in its entirety that's printed later on in the Ring canon that actually has the footage documented most leading up to the moment where, Stephen said, "I will fuck you up." Right? That was something that was the pinnacle of the aggressiveness that was in their marriage during their years together. But it was also the pattern of emotional abuse that's posted in the full at the top of this post in detail later on. Now, neither the Crowders are contending that there were physical abuse in their marriage, thank God, or sexual infidelity, thank God also. And we know audio files and text messages that Yashar reviewed. Stephen admits to some of his faults, which includes volcanic temper repeatedly and at times regretfully. Juicy! But coroner sources I spoke to are familiar with their relationship. Stephen's admissions often came out of a sustained period of mental and emotional abuse, and he didn't seem to be able to control his impulses and actually discipline himself. And what's the story is based on conversations with multiple sources, none of whom would speak to the offer unless they were granted anonymity. Understandably so. And, we understand what the offer did at the time, and they had all the stuff that's there. Now, backstory on like what the Crowders are basically doing. The Crowders married in 2012 after dating for 2 years. They started meeting each other and dating in 2010 and being engaged for around less than a year, sometime around 2011. Hillary Crowder filed for divorce in December of 2021 after she learned that her husband had hired a divorce attorney a month earlier. Dang.
Juicy.
Hillary Crowder welcomed twins via cesarean section, C-section for short, in August of that year, and was, despite the best efforts, her husband was absent when the twins were born. Instead, Stephen met the newborn twins later that day at the hospital. The night before she gave birth, Stephen and Hillary exchanged a series of text messages about separating. Hillary sent her husband one of the final text messages: "Stephen, I'm afraid of you and your raids. You're scary. You scare me. I want to heal things, but you have to take responsibility. Stop blaming others. Stop feeling pain and sadness only for yourself." In the past 2 weeks, rumors of their divorce, which the press had not discovered for over a year, began to spread on Twitter. On Tuesday, Steven Crowder briefly spoke about the news in his popular show, Louder with Crowder. And Steven said in part, "I've been living with proverbial on my neck for going on for years now, since 2021. I've been living through what's increasingly been a horrendous divorce, and no, this has not been my choice. My then wife decided she didn't want me to be married anymore, and in the state of Texas, that's completely permitted. She simply wanted out. And the law says this is how it works. It's no one else's fault but my own, then that I picked wrong. And that certainly isn't the fault of my children. And what's Crowder, Ramon, Texas is no fault. Divorce law several times in the statement. And what's either party in males can be divorced without requiring a cause like abuse or infidelity or however it may be. And it wasn't the first time Crowder had talked about suggestions discussing such laws. What Stephen failed to mention was that Hillary, who rarely appears in the public, had made a request via attorneys that her husband did not discuss their divorce at all. Stephen admits that request, spoke about divorce and marriage for about 5 minutes in a clip that went viral. Hillary's attorneys basically said, the family's attorneys, and they said Hillary is currently living alone in Dallas, apart from her family supports in Michigan, and is focused on taking care of her young children. She's not prepared at this time to speak about her divorce becoming public or the misleading statements made by Stephen about their relationship. The truth is that Hillary spent years hiding Stephen's mentally and emotionally abusive behavior from her friends and family while she attempted to save their marriage. She was the one who was asking to work in their relationship to keep the marriage intact for the unborn children. In June of 2021, Stephen left their home to pursue elective surgery. Hillary urged him to get the help he needed to address the abuse, to hope that their marriage could be saved and they could peacefully live together as a family. Instead, Stephen refused to do so and chose not to be with his wife during the birth of their twin children. After the birth, Stephen bought a townhouse and left their home permanently. Hillary was unaware that Stephen had hired a divorce attorney and asked the decision to cut off Hillary financially, and was there significant documentation substantiating these facts.
Juicy.
We hope that Stephen will cease speaking publicly about these personal matters in an untruthful manner. We also look forward to there being full transparency in the legal process, so there's fairness and accountability for the actions that caused the divorce, and to ensure the outcome is what is in the best interest of the young children, and which we already saw the Ring camera, which actually took place on June 26, 2021, and we already saw all the stuff that's actually been going down here, okay? And we see all the stuff that actually came by, and we know about his volcanic temper, him basically losing his shit. And basically, two people that actually worked for Stephen in the past says he's created a cult-like atmosphere in the workplace and is intolerant of dissent. You're either fully for him or you're his enemy. One former employee told me in conversation on Wednesday, no in between. In the interview on Michael Malice's podcast, Dave Landau, who used to be a co-host on Louder with Crowder, said that Crowder has surrounded himself with yes men. Monday Myron Gaines. Landau added about Crowder, he's become the bully and doesn't realize it. Crowder's career in mainstream conservative media started at Fox News in 2009, where he appeared as a guest on programs and wrote for Fox News website until he was let go from the network in October 2013. His show, Louder with Crowder, aired on CRTV and later the Berates from 2017 through the end of his contract in 2022. Crowder's media footprint is substantial. On YouTube, his two channels have over 7 million subscribers and have garnered over 2.2 billion views. In addition, he has millions of followers across Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. On the conservative online video platform, Rumble, Crowder has over 1 million followers. That's crazy. In March of 2023, Rumble announced that at least 58,000 people will have subscribed to his Crowder's channel, paying $89 a year each, which means over $5.1 million for this particular revenue stream. And the numbers that Rumble shared were in the pre-launch phase, in which the numbers have likely grown since, in which the success and the ideological alliance that led the Daily Wire, the conservative media company co-founded by Ben Shapiro and Jeffrey Boring, to make the offer to Crowder in October 2022 to bring a their company, which was later revealed to be $50 million over 4 years. That's $12.5 million yearly. Basically, he would be responsible for his production costs as part of the deal. So, take away the production costs and taxes, Crowder could basically be dealing with about $6 to $8 million a year, handling his chef. So, before I continue reading, homeboy here, you mean to tell me that both you and your soon-to-be ex-wife basically share a car together, literally up in the house, right? Basically, asking her to literally do all these wifely duties and everything, but yet you can't even order like groceries off Instacart. You can't even do that if you actually want to actually stay with one car, whatever reason it may be. That's basically your business. But if that's the case, why not order something off Instacart, right? Why not actually try and get like some of the stuff that you want online and try to ask like your wife what you guys actually want to bring, what else you guys need, and then you foot the fucking bill. Why not handle that and let them deliver this stuff on your door so that you'll be able to ease some tension for your wife who's currently pregnant with your then twins at the time, right? Or if that doesn't harm, if you're not comfortable with people delivering your stuff, why not buy another fucking car? Could be electric, or it could be like another car that the wife may need to actually go and get some things, so that she'll be able to have like an easier time doing the task in a much efficient and a quick basis as much as possible without any pressure, and therefore you'll be able to actually treat each other as adults and not treat your wife like a child. But anyway, Boring made it clear that the $50 million was just in this non-binding order to start negotiations, and that they would likely pay much more to secure Crowder for the growing list of conservative hosts. So basically, Crowder will be earning minimum $8 million a year for 4 years. Take away production costs and tax and all that. Like so many things in his life in recent years, Crowder's sentiment and paranoia led him to destroy a relationship with Shapiro, Boring, and others at the Daily Wire. When he posted a video on his channel to the Daily Wire without naming the company, was attempting to align himself with big tech by mentioning this offer to him that if he was demonetized on social media platforms, it would reduce his overall compensation. In which the Daily Wire responded that they can be spread the compensation at the initial contact rate if they're losing revenue streams they accounted for as part of determining his compensation. In which Crowder responded to the video by Boring by playing audio from a call he had, unbeknownst to Boring, that was taped. In which Crowder said the call Boring was the only third conversation with a friend he saved in his entire life. Yet in the interview with Michael Malice, Crowder's former co-host Dave Landau said that Crowder would regularly take calls to people without them knowing. What a fucking coward. While it's clear that Crowder is making millions from his conservative media mini empire, it's unclear if he will receive an offer like the one he got from the Daily Wire team again. Crowder's willingness to publicly destroy a relationship will likely lead other conservative media funders to be cautious about getting into business with him. The self-destructiveness is not surprising to people who know him, but it's still shocking given his kind of concern with money. According to people who know him well, and reviewing documentary evidence related to their marriage, Steven Crowder appears obsessed with the idea that his wife is only interested in him for money. Hillary Crowder started dating him well before he became famous and wealthy. He was making less than $100,000 a year when they got married. On April 22nd, 2022, Crowder was talking on his show about his stage for no-fault divorce. He said, if you're a woman that comes from meager means, you still want to get wealthy, you never worked, you didn't get a degree, you have no skill set, but you're good looking, your best path to visit is simply marry a man, leave him and take half. By the time Crowder said this, it had been 5 months since he retained a divorce attorney, but his audience was unaware of this move. 6 months later, he would walk away from a $50 million opening offer from the Daily Wire. 4 months after the news of the Daily Wire became public in January 2023, and his comments about the proposal led to the destruction of his relationship with Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring, the public would learn that a dispute with the Daily Wire was the least of Steven Crowder's problems. Juicy!